Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey. Who are you?
Tucker.
This is Tucker, and in this video we're going to tell you why the 2022 Hyundai Tucson is the best car for families according to US News and World Reports. All right, Gearheads, so I've already done my own review on this Tucson talking about the styling, but Tucker, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite thing about this car?
The color.
The color? What color is it?
Red.
Red? Did you know the name of it is Calypso Red? Is that so cool? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why don't you and I hop inside and see exactly how it drives and how wobbly your head gets, okay?
Okay.
All right. But first, let's put in his car seat. All right, so before I put the car seat in this vehicle, I wanted to note that it is a 60-40 split bench with flat folding rear seats that lock into place that you can fold flat from either the back compartment or here on the side. Very nice feature there. But interestingly enough, because of that fold flat feature, the seat bottom is actually on a hinge to lower as you lower the seat back, which means this seat does not slide forward and back. It is fixed in place. So you can see that seat bottom moves forward just a bit as you move that seat back into the lower position. Bringing in my son's forward-facing Graco car seat, drop the tether back there, and Hyundai does a very good job of marking exactly where the seat tether anchors are. But another interesting point of this is 60-40, but the larger 60% is here on the passenger side, which is where I normally put my child's seat so I can see him when I turn around and take a look. That third person seat belt is actually going around the lower latch point when it's installed here. So something to note, just a little odd, different when I got this one. That stood out to me, so I thought I'd just show it to you. Otherwise, very easy to find the latch points for this, very easy to get to the rear anchor point from the back. But again, because this seat does not slide, you do have to open the hatch to put that anchor point in place. All right, Tucker.
What?
We're gonna drive in our red Hyundai Tucson. Do you like this car?
Yes.
Yeah, you really like that Calypso Red, don't you?
Yes.
What about the inside? Do you like the inside? Is it cool in here?
Yeah, but it doesn't have a much red.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have that much red inside here. But you know what we can do? We can change the color of the lights in here so we can make those red if we want to.
Can you do that?
Yeah, so we do that through the touch screen here. We go to our setup and vehicle, and then we go to lights, and then we go to ambient light, color, and sunrise red. But you know what? It's just a little too bright outside to see it, so we may have to wait till we get home and go to our garage to see it light up red in here. But you like it when we have light up colors, don't you?
Yeah.
That makes the cars fun. I noticed something.
What?
You're really far back behind me. I can barely reach you. There's so much room in this car, isn't there? Yeah, there's a whole lot of room.
And I can't even reach the seat.
I know. So while this is a compact crossover, we had that white Genesis, which is also made by the Hyundai Group, that was a compact luxury crossover, but it was definitely more tight inside than this one. This one definitely gives you more room, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Tucker? Yep. So the interior packaging of this vehicle, because it is a front-wheel drive vehicle and it was built for interior compartment space and not necessarily performance handling, this definitely has more room. Yes, sir.
Is the review over?
Not yet. When we get back home, the review will be over, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, what I really like about this one is the blind spot monitoring that shows up in the speedometer and in the tachometer, depending on how I have the blinker. So if I have the blinker on to turn right, the tachometer will turn into a camera utilizing the camera on the rear view mirror on that side of the vehicle. Same thing with the speedometer. My left turn signal really helps the blind spot monitoring on this. And the notification sound, if you try and change lanes while someone's in your blind spot, is very convenient in that it is not obnoxious in what it does. It lets you know, hey, don't get over, but it doesn't scream at you. And you know, talking about that Genesis that we had last week, this has a lot of the same tech in it because it is made by the same people, and this is the most premium version of this Tucson. So Hyundai has put in a lot of their technology in this. You've got the large widescreen touchscreen infotainment here with plugged-in CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got those cameras that I mentioned for blind spot monitoring. Interestingly enough, this $37,000 Hyundai has a full LCD driver information center gauge cluster, whereas the $52,000 Genesis just had a digital tach and center screen, while the speedometer and fuel gauge were both analog. I know you can get Genesis's full 3D screen in higher trims, but very interesting that the top trim of this Hyundai comes in a little bit nicer than that Genesis we had last week. Some more technology in this: dual zone climate control with automatic functions. It's all on this haptic touchscreen, no knobs interface. Not my favorite, but I already talked about that in my solo review. I really want to focus more on how this drives and see what Tucker thinks of it in this video. Unfortunately, Holly, Tucker's mommy, my wife, could not make it for this video, so you have to soldier on with the two of us guys. But we can do it, right, Tucker?
Yep.
Yep. What do you think of this big skylight? Yeah. You really like it, don't you? And it's nice and dark so that you don't get too hot in it, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What else do you like about this car?
I like the color.
The color? What other little bit of red can we do inside this car? Do you remember? Mm-mm. Remember up here? On the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm currently in...
Dad, can you change the screen red?
I can. So I am currently driving in normal mode.
Do it now.
But this little drive mode selector here switches it to sport, and the gauges turn red and carbon fiber.
Daddy.
And they look really sporty and fun. Yes, sir.
I want you to change some red.
They are red. Do you see them?
Yeah, but I want them blue.
Oh, you want them back to blue? And back to blue. So that drive mode selector changes things like throttle response and a few other features of the driving dynamics of this vehicle, including disabling the engine start-stop when you are in sport mode, so that that power is always there on tap when you need it. So a very nice feature there. Just a little bit of thoughtfulness, but because that automatically disables the engine start-stop feature, which helps with fuel economy and those all-important window sticker numbers, you will have to put it in sport each time you get in it. What you don't have to do each time you get in it is turn on the ventilated seats. It actually remembers if you left them on the last time you were driving, which on a nice warm East Texas day like today, it's 87 degrees out here at the end of April. Very nice and welcome luxury feature that I'm also very interested in not being part of the Genesis that we had last week. As we come to a stop here, I notice this does have, as Holly would say, an aggressive engine start-stop feature. And in my time driving this around, I have noticed one really big nitpick with that. Normally I can forgive the engine start-stop because it does what it does. But in my mixed city driving in this, I have noticed that if I'm getting close to coming to a full stop, sometimes the engine will just cut off and jerk me to a stop anyway. It doesn't wait for a full stop on my own. I don't know if it's just how I'm operating the brakes or what's going on, but it's been jarring. It's done it to me a couple times. It has not been persistent, but it is worth noting. That engine start-stop defeat button, though, is down here by the gear selector. I'm going to put it back into sport mode because when our light turns green, Tucker, I'm going to see just how fast this car is. Do you want to see how fast it can go?
Yep.
Do you think it'll throw us back in our seats? Here we go. Woo! All right. Was that fun?
Yeah, can you do that again?
Well, we're going the speed limit, so we can't go any faster than that. But this has a little 2.5 liter 4-cylinder powering all 4 wheels using Hyundai's HTRAC all-wheel drive. A little slip there. Hyundai's HTRAC all-wheel drive. And this is predominantly a front-wheel drive car. And that little 2.5 liter 4-cylinder only makes 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. So spirited driving isn't exactly what this vehicle was made for, but it was made for comfortable family driving, which, Tucker, are we a family? Mm-hmm. We are a family, and we are about to turn on the historic brick streets here in downtown Tyler to see just how comfortable this family can drive around Tyler, Texas. So our normal loop here where we turn on to the brick streets. All right, how wobbly is your head, Tucker?
It's right.
Just right? Oh,
Kind of making my face move.
It's kind of making your face move. Yeah, just a little. So this is a comfortable vehicle, but at $37,000, it's not going to be like a cloud floating over these roads. It is standard family car suspension and does a good job of holding its own. I don't think I can relate to you just how rough this little stretch of road is, including those old railroad tracks that we just went over. The fact that I was able to easily talk to you for the duration of that time really speaks to how well this vehicle is suspended and sprung underneath. It is a very comfortable vehicle and would be a very good daily driver for you and your family. Don't you think, Tucker? That was a pretty comfortable ride, even though it made your face wobbly? Did it make your face a little wobbly?
No.
No? I thought you told me it made your face wobbly.
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
No.
No.
It made my face move a lot.
It made your face move a lot. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get it right. Well, the last thing I want to touch on this is Hyundai's driver assistance technology. So this does have lane keep, it does have adaptive cruise, and it does have Hyundai's highway driving assist that helps using all of those things in a highway driving scenario. We have Interstate 20 here, and that's when it denotes that it is active. Another fun feature I really like of this is the cruise control works in conjunction with the posted speed limit that this vehicle does recognize, and will allow you and remind you to set the adaptive cruise to the posted speed limit each time you set it, but does have toggles here on the steering wheel for you to adjust that accordingly. All told, this has been a very fun vehicle for us to have this week. I've enjoyed it. Tucker's enjoyed it. I know Holly has enjoyed it. She wasn't able, again, to join us today, but she has borrowed it quite a bit this week, which leads me to believe she kind of likes it too. It has all the same safety tech of our vehicle last week in that Genesis. So if you want to know what she thinks of the technology in this vehicle, be sure and go check out that Genesis video we shot last week. Why don't we take this back and give our final thoughts on it, Tucker? Sound good?
Yes.
Yes, can you say like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe.
All right. So if you want to help our family out, do like Tucker says, like and subscribe. And it will really help this family out as we get done wrapping up our video on what has been voted the U.S. News and World Report best car for families. We thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good job, Tucker. That was smart. All right, Gearheads, that about does it for our time with this 2022 Hyundai Tucson. Watch out, Tucker. We're gonna open up the back. Oh, bless you. You like playing back there? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, between all of the room in this, the fact that the seats recline an incredible amount, and it is just an all-around comfortable car, this compact crossover may be the one for you. Be sure and check out your Hyundai dealership if you are in the market for a new compact crossover, because this definitely stands up against the competition of RAV4, Equinox, Acadia, CR-V, you name it. This thing holds up pretty well. But Tucker, well, what about you say we go for a little ride?
How about we go for a little ride?
All right, thank you, T-Man. I love you.
I love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, now.
Why the lights aren't on now?
Hold on.
Ugh.
All right. Hyundai Tucson. Poop. You want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But mine's still on.
I know, my camera's still on too. We'll turn them off when we get home.
Why are there holes on here?
That's just from your sock. Your skin will bounce back from that. It won't stay that way. Love you, T-Man.
I love you, Daddy.
Tucker. Don't typically get a garage parking test on our reviews, do we?
Why?
I like how the camera comes on when the parking sensors come on, and that is how that is done.